Hello, everyone. We're going to start talking about how to end our term. It's getting around that time, and so I'm going to show you how to close out your classes and also how to submit any reimbursements that you'd like for the expenses that you had during this term. So I'm going to share my screen. There we go. Okay, so the first thing is when you go to your class on WISE, the first screen is your summary screen. And so you're going to see all your students, and I've taken screenshots to do this rather than show you live because I want to protect people's privacy. So you're going to see the names of your students off to the left, and next to them is this column that talks about student status. And I just want to point out a couple things about this. You'll notice right here, looks like a book with a clock on it. This means that the student is behind in their reading. Now, I did a little bit of math quickly, and we have 510 students in seminary, and 351 of them at this current time are not above 75% in their reading. That's 69% that are not at this point going to receive credit for this term. Now, obviously, they have some time, so that number can go up, but please help your students to complete and record their reading. There are many different ways to do this, just reminding them each day. I have a QR code that I've sent out. If you need me to send it out again, let me know. I can do that. When I was teaching, I would actually bring up WISE on my phone and just let them mark their reading on my phone, one day a week kind of thing. So there's lots of different ways that you can do it, but please help your students complete and record their reading. We've had many instances in the past where people haven't received credit for the term, and it was usually because they had a 0% or a low percentage on their reading and just didn't remember or realize that they needed to go in and do that. So please advocate for your kids to get on My Seminary and to record their reading. If they have the little icon here that looks like a kind of a ghost with an arrow next to it, that means they have makeup work to do from this term. It means that their attendance for this term has fallen below 75%. Now, again, with several weeks left in the term, if they continue to attend, then that may come up above 75%, but it also may not. So encourage students to start working on that makeup work from this term. If they have a little graduation cap with an X through it, that means that they have makeup work from past terms that are going to keep them from graduating. Now, if you have seniors in your class, this is especially important. They have all Thanksgiving break, they have all Christmas, they have all spring break to work on makeups. So really encourage them to start getting those makeups taken care of as soon as possible. And, with the reading, if they have makeups from past terms, they can use the new reading requirements to complete that reading for past terms. If you still have one of these little registration icons, the red paper with the pencil in it, that means that the parents still haven't signed the parent agreement. Please call me if you still have students with this icon. Yeah, I realize many of you have probably tried to get parents to take care of this. And if they haven't, but the student is still attending, there are workarounds for that. So please call me, email me if you have a student that still has that red icon and they've been attending your class. Now, once you're going to move from your summary screen to the credit screen, and this is when you're getting ready to close out your class at the end of the year. You'll notice that some students say they're on track, some are in danger. That just means that on track means everything's above 75%. In danger means any one of the three things that they're get credit on is below 75%. They might have 89% attendance, but if they haven't, recorded their reading, it's going to say that they're in danger. So if you click on this little arrow next to the word credit, it'll expand the screen and you'll see their reading, attendance, and the assessment. Now, the reason I wanted to show you this and have circled these is that in this particular class, 17 days have not been, the attendance has not been marked by the teacher. So the reason that it is so important that teachers stay on top of recording their attendance is that, for example, this person who looks like they have dropped below 75% may actually be much higher than that. But because the teacher has not marked the attendance, that student doesn't know for sure where they are. And so it's very important to keep attendance marked so that we can tell exactly where the students are. Now, this student who's at 81% with 17 days unmarked, if they were absent all of those days, that will drop their attendance below 75%. And if they think they're doing okay and they don't have any makeup work to do, when the teacher suddenly puts in those 17 days and they drop below 75% and they don't go back and check, they may think that they're doing fine when in actuality they aren't. So it's very, very important to make sure that you're recording your attendance at least every week, daily if possible. Now, for the assessment, please make sure that you're giving the assessment within the next, few weeks of classes. Please do not wait until the last day of class. And remember, the assessment is to be a class thing, a group thing. You can pair them up. They do it together. It's not an individual, multiple choice like it used to be. It's meant to be a discussion and a collaborative effort. If they do not attend that day and you want to send the assessment home, they can use their scriptures. They can talk it out with their family. It is, like I said, meant to be a collaborative thing. And the nice thing is that now it's a yes or no. Did they work on it? Did they complete it? Yes, great. They passed the assessment. If they do not, then we put in no. But it's just a yes or no. And you can go in and do that for all of the students in your class. All right. So then next to the attendance, there's another little break, pop out tab. And if you click on that, you can see all of the absences and tardies. DTMU means days to make up. That means how many past lessons the student has missed and needed to make up. For example, you can see this person needs 15 in order to reach 75%. This person only needs 1. Now, remember, when I showed earlier, there's 17 days unmarked. This person only has 15 days to make up. But if they attended all of those days, that 44% is going to jump up significantly. So please, please make sure that you're marking your reading. DMU means days made up. If a student has made up days, that will show up here. And then MUW means makeup work. At the end of the term, once you've completed all of the reading, attendance, and assessment, if the student has makeup work that needs to be done, please click on the word edit. Whoops, I actually did it and it moved my screen. Click on edit and it will give you a little pop-up box. And in that pop-up box, you can put, so-and-so needs to make up 3 lessons in order to receive credit for the term, or so-and-so needs to, do whatever. Because once this makes it into a transcript, it's a yes or no. It doesn't say what the makeup work needs to be done. And so sometimes it's hard to tell. So if you put in that box exactly what their makeup work is, it's very helpful for them to see what they're missing. All right, so then when you have completed all of the reading, attendance, assessment, all of those fields are full, you can move up to the top of your screen where it says lock class and click on lock class. That will close your class for the term. It is not set in stone at that point. If you need to go back in and change something, you can contact me. But it's important that we get all the classes locked as soon as possible so that we can close out the term. And even after the term is closed, that's not like you can't change anything. We can still go in and edit the transcripts. So if they're doing makeup work over the holidays or whatever, then we can go back in and fix that. but it's really important that we get those classes locked and the term closed out as quickly as possible. So please have as much of this prepared by the last day of seminary, whatever that is for your state, for this term. So some of you end, I think, on the 15th or 16th of December, some of you end on the 22nd. So whatever day you end, please make sure that you are closing out and locking your class that day or over that weekend, because I guarantee you with Christmas and all the other holidays, it gets forgotten and then we're stuck because we can't close out the term. So please, please make sure that you go in on that last day of your class. Just make sure everything looks good and lock out your class. All right. If you have any questions about any of this, please feel free to email me, call me, and we can go through it individually. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is reimbursements. You've spent money on your class over this term, you know, on classroom supplies, on treats, those kind of things. So there's a reimbursement form that can be filled out to recoup some of that money that you spend. You do have a budget. There we go. Oh, I apologize. First of all, on seminary.churchofjesuschrist.org, you can find links to information and instructions about the reimbursement forms. However, I've tried it and the links don't work to actually get you to the forms. So I will be sending those out in an email for you, and it will look like this. And you'll fill out the information, your name, state, ward, telephone number, email address, all that kind of stuff. And then you'll click the red square up in the corner and it will create an invoice number for your reimbursement request. For reoccurring travel, that's back and forth to seminary, you're going to put your home address and then the destination address and what the mileage is for that round trip, both there and back. And then for each month, you just check mark each of the days. Just click on the box and it will fill it in and automatically calculate the mileage that you have gone back and forth, and we'll put it down at the bottom. Now, if you have varied travel, you came to a training, you went to the grocery store to buy the candy for the treats or whatever, or to the donut shop or whatever, you can receive reimbursement miles for that. So one of the things that I need to make sure that we understand, though, is that the way that you do that is very specific. So you put in your starting point, which would be your home, and then the destination. So in this case, it was a local Walmart. And then the purchase was purchasing food for the seminary breakfast. This was the date. And then the mileage it took to get from home to Walmart. But then you need to do it in the reverse. So then you start at Walmart and home, and in the purpose you put return home, the date, and the mileage. So for each travel, like you can't just put in here, I visited all my students, it was 37 miles total. You would need to go in and put your home address, the first student's address, from that student's address to the next student's address, right? And I know it's cumbersome, but it really does add up when you're trying, when you're putting this in here. So I would still encourage you to do it, even if it takes a bit of time. So let me get in a little bit closer on some of these so you can see, you're marking the boxes for each of those days that you are driving to seminary. And then down here again, from your home to the destination to your home, okay, for each of those. And if you need more space than is provided on this form, which I hope someday they reconfigure because there's not enough room for anything on it, you can put it on a separate sheet and I can add that in for you. All right, this that was for mileage. If you are wanting to just do mileage, you can do that, or you can add on the expenses that you've had throughout the year. You can start on this first page with the other expenses, just putting the merchant name, Amazon, Walmart, grocery outlet, whatever. The purpose, whether, was it for student activities or was it for classroom supplies, and a general description of what it was that you purchased. Don't worry about the account code. That's for me, and the amount. Now there is an additional sheet attached where you can continue to put all of the information about the merchants and the purchase. And then if it's classroom supplies, put the total in this column. If it's student activities, put it in this column. And it will automatically add all this up, and it will show up on that first page. When you turn in your receipts, and I need original receipts mailed to the Institute, or you can bring them in and drop them through the mail slot, or if we're here and you can drop them off, I need those original receipts to go with this. When you're sending this to me in an email, you can scan the receipts, take a picture of them, whatever, and I can get started on getting it going. But before I can turn it in, I need those original receipts, in my possession. Please, on each receipt, write the number of, so if your first line here is for Walmart, then on the Walmart receipt, you would write a number 1. So I know that goes with line 1. Same with line 2, draw a 2 on the Amazon receipt that you got or whatever. Please put your name on the receipts as well. Okay. This will all populate. Let me get back to this one. Automatically down to this area down here at the bottom, and we'll automatically total it. And then if you are bringing it to me in person, you can sign it, or we have your signature on file from the payee request form, which I'm going to tell you about right now. If you have not requested a reimbursement before, or if you have moved, or if you have changed banking information, you will need to fill out a payee setup form. I will include that when I send out the reimbursement request paperwork in an email to all of you. It just has your name and address and things like that, but also your routing information for your bank. Please put the routing information and your account number on the paper, sign it, and again, you can send it to me in a picture, you can scan it, you could bring it in, however you'd like to do that. Once I have put it into the system and prepped it so that you have your information in the system and they can automatically deposit that into your bank account, I will shred that paper. So it's not like we have your banking information sitting around here. So we're trying to make sure that you're nobody steals your identity. We do a good job of trying to make sure that happens. I delete emails that have any information in it, that kind of thing. So please make sure you have all that information on there and get that to me. And as soon as the payee setup form moves to the system and you're given a vendor number, then I can submit your reimbursement requests. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me or give me a call here at the Institute. And I hope you guys have a great end to your term with the end of the New Testament and with Christmas and Thanksgiving. It's a fun time to be in class. So I hope you're enjoying it, and I hope that all of you have a lovely Thanksgiving.